Railway sleepers are used to maintain the gauge and to keep the rails in place. The first ones were made of stone. This was quite convenient in that the stone sleepers didn't go the whole length of the gauge, which meant there was a central area for pedestrians who on the earliest railways used the line as sort of toll road, and also it allowed the horses' hooves to be unhindered by the cross sleepers. These stone sleepers came from the Edinburgh and Glasgow Railway. Even as late as the 1840s, it was still being used in some projects, even though by that time it was shown that with locomotives, the level of noise coming from stone sleepers and the vibration causing damage to both coaching stock and locomotives was totally unacceptable. In addition to this, there was a constant requirement to put the rails back into gauge with the weight of the trains going over them. As a result, vast numbers of stone sleepers became available for other projects. In this case, the railway company also owned the Union Canal, and they were used to strengthen the banks of the canals, particularly at the basins. The earlier stone sleepers simply had two holes drilled into them, into which a wooden plug was placed, and the rail, be it a fish belly or a plateway, would be held in with a metal spike. Later, when chairs were developed and wrought iron rails up to 15 feet in length were being used, then an oval or an elongated groove might be made for the chair itself, in addition to the holes for the spikes. On waggonways, the shift in gauge because of the movement of the stone sleepers could to some extent be rectified by using washers placed on the axles, because in those days the wheels were free to be moved. However, with locomotives, the problem was more that the track would easily break, being cast iron, both in plateways and with fish bellies. Later, when wrought iron or steel rails were being used, the transverse arrangement of the wooden sleepers kept the gauge correct. Brunel, of course, had other ideas, and on his 7-foot 0.25-inch gauge track there were wooden sleepers running beneath the rails with the occasional transverse to maintain the gauge.